The video you're about to watch is of a 23-year-old woman slash stripper slash Catholic. She's going to be telling you why you should say no to free or any type of birth control.
Okay, so hey everyone, so today I felt compelled to do a vlog with stuff that's happening in our government again, especially now this year with the elections coming up. Everything is very political. You're seeing all sides come out and really strong choices and really strong opinions. And I like it, and I know you're not supposed to talk about politics, which I do from time to time on my channel, but it always gets me in a lot of heat and a lot of trouble. But then I think, if I can't voice my opinion, what's the point of living in America, and what's the point of having free speech, and all that. And what's going on in the news right now is the stuff about birth control, and just a lot of, it's a lot of frustration for me personally, because taxes are coming up and I just got my taxes done, and I'm not gonna lie, I owe so much money in taxes. You know, I'm for the most part pretty much self-employed, especially with my modeling and stuff. I do a lot of that mostly just freelance, so they don't take taxes out.
You know, I must admit, I do find it a bit funny that you say that you don't actually pay taxes because you do what's known as freelancing, yet for the remaining of the video you're complaining about having to pay for other people's birth control. That's a bit dumb.
But I work really hard for finding my own jobs. I work really hard creating my own jobs, you know, with my Etsy, with, you know, things I sell, like just like everyone else, just trying to work really hard to be successful and create my own job, basically. And I'm a small, you know, even with my Etsy, I'm like a small business owner, and so I'm just trying to, you know, make it work. But I owe a lot of taxes, so it's frustrating to me that these feminazis, and that term came from Rush Limbaugh, and I loved it because that is what these women are, girls are, who think the government should be paying for their birth control. Now there are some very right-wing, you know, politicians out there that are saying, you know, birth control should be banned. Personally, I mean, I'm with that. I agree with that. I'm not going to say, but I'm not going to go that strong and be like, you know, it should be illegal, because it's my religion that I believe that. And, you know, you know, I mean, personally, to me, and I'm just going to say this because whatever, it's going to be offensive anyway I say this, to have this law try and pass for this birth control, I mean, it's kind of like you're embarking on my freedom of religion. I choose to be Catholic, and, you know, it goes against my religion.
I honestly don't understand how you're claiming that it's embarking on your freedom of religion when you are not being forced to participate in having birth control. No one is grabbing you by the neck saying that you have to take birth control.
Birth control, contraceptives, etc. And as far as my stance is to those who are going to say, well, would you rather have these teens just having babies? No, I would rather have these teens not having sex, period. I'm a strong advocate for waiting until marriage, and, you know, even in marriage, you know, I just...
So you are in fact saying that people shouldn't have sex until they're married, and that school should teach abstinence, which, if you're going to teach abstinence, you need to teach proper sex education, because no matter, despite your religion, people are going to still have sex whether you like it or not. You're going to have to deal with that, whether you agree with it or not. Birth control has helped a lot of people prevent unwanted pregnancies, and believe it or not, can also help with life-threatening sexual transmitted diseases. Birth control does more than just prevent pregnancy. This is what it kind of boils down to, is that you have the right to your religion, but I don't believe it's your right to tell girls what to do and what they can't do with their body or the medication that they can and cannot take. You know, Trish, I'd actually love to hear your personal reasons to why you advocate abstinence After all, didn't you model for... Don't tell me how I know this, but you did in fact model for fetish fantasy lingerie. I find it so ironic that you can pop up your boobs and let them jiggle in front of the camera as you spew crap out of your mouth. I absolutely love the way how you pretend to know all about politics. I love how you're Catholic, but you're also a nude model. You could seriously win Role Model of the Month for young teens looking up to someone like you.
I don't want to force my opinions on anybody. However, when your beliefs start affecting me and my beliefs and my rights, that's when I get a little mad. Especially when I'm having to pay my money. I'm paying so much money on my taxes, and it's not like it's helping everybody out. It's helping out the welfare people. It's helping out, people, people who just aren't taking that initiative and, trying to make their own money. I've been there. I'm not rich. I mean, people here, I'm conservative, and they just assume that I'm like wealthy. My parents might be, but I'm not. And I've worked really hard. My dad cut me off at 18 when I decided to not go to school. I've worked really hard to establish my life and my living and my income, and it's still a struggle, but I'm going to do it because that's my money. I'm not going to get on unemployment because I can make my own money. I'm capable of making my own money, And as far as birth control, that's just so ridiculous. I'm not going to pay for your birth control. I'm not going to pay for it. That's so ridiculous.
Yet somehow you expect medical insurance to cover all those medical bills when you get skin cancer from obsessively tanning all the time. So logical. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Trish, but the bill that was being proposed for birth control requires the insurance company to pay for it, not the tax dollars which you seem to be attached to. And believe it or not, I get the strange feeling that you, somewhere deep down in your heart, believe that taxes need to be abolished.
And, Rush went a little far and called the one girl a slut or something, I'm not saying she's a slut. I'm saying she's lazy because she wants me to pay for her birth control. It's like, if you can't afford birth control, you should not be having sex, okay? That's just bottom line. Don't have sex if you can't afford it.
Has it ever come to your conclusion that people are, in fact, on welfare for a reason? Now, I know people personally who don't deserve to be on welfare. They don't even, it's just, yeah, they're on welfare. I guess you could call it, they cheated the system to get free money from the government. But there are people legitimately who are on welfare because they are in a situation which they can't support themselves. You assume that everybody just wants to be and likes to be on welfare. Just because someone receives aid from someone else does not mean that they're lazy. Can they be lazy? Yeah, but that doesn't mean they all are lazy like you're generalizing here. You have a very messed up and skewed sense of the world, Miss Barbie. I highly encourage you grow up and think outside the box instead of your religious framework, which you're basing everything off of. Also, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Rush Limbaugh is pretty much an a-hole to women, very disrespectful to women.
The birth control if you need it. I don't have sex, so I don't need birth control or condoms or what have you. And there's already organizations that help you out enough, like Planned Parenthood and government funded. So that just kind of irked me, and I wanted to make this video. To those of you who think you have that right, this is from my perspective. I'm not a politician. I'm not, middle-aged, man that's like out of touch. I'm in touch with the real world, okay? I live it. I'm in LA. I'm in the center of it. And that's just, it's just not fair. It's not fair, and, get a job, okay? And to all you girls who think that this might be your bailout, or who think you can get on 16 and pregnant by getting pregnant and making money, it's just stupid. You're just stupid. You're just stupid.
But going back to what I said earlier, not only is birth control used as a contraceptive, but it's also used for women, younger women, and even older women to relieve period pains, or I should say menstrual cycle pains. Birth control also can help regulate a woman's, period. Even if birth control goes against your religion, it should be something that is available for women, whether or not they are able to pay for it or not. And if a teenager does choose to have sex, it's better to be safe rather than sorry. Religion has no place in government. My religion is my own. Your religion is your own. Do not shove your opinion or views down other people's throats. Some people need free birth control. Some people do in fact need to be on welfare. I also have a question for you, Tarisha. Let's suppose a woman is raped. She happens to be homeless, and in all likelihood she actually became impregnated by being raped. Is it to you morally wrong to offer this woman a 3-day contraceptive paid for with tax money?
So, I don't know if I should title this abstinence. I don't know what to title this. But, you know, just, that's my thoughts. And again, this is not anti-birth control. I mean, I could do a video on that. I'm not trying to offend everybody in the world, but it's just how it is. And I just don't want to give my hard-earned money to these girls who are irresponsible. And something I don't agree with anyways, and my religion does not agree with.
Did you really just say that? I would actually argue that using birth control is responsible. Did you know that the schools and states that actually teach abstinence actually have the highest teen pregnancy statistics for having women getting pregnant? And states which have implemented a comprehensive sex education program actually have lower rates of teen pregnancy. The problem with states and schools teaching abstinence is that they may teach it, but they don't teach these young people how to have safe and proper sex. They just say, don't do it, it's not good, and then when they go to have sex, they don't do it safely. They don't use condoms, they don't use birth control, and obviously the teen pregnancy and pregnancy rates go sky high. If a school or state is trying to teach abstinence, I believe it's equally important that that school or state also teach proper sex education on how to have safe sex for those people who do not choose to remain abstinent throughout their teenage years. Abstinence is only inapplicable and unrealistic to young people, and it keeps them very ignorant on the topic of safe sex, which will ultimately cause them to make unhealthy, unwise decisions for their future.
So, yeah. Okay, well, that is my little thing, and I've just been arguing on Twitter, everyone who's bashing, you know, Rush and the conservatives, and, it's just obnoxious. And that Funny or Die video was not funny about the middle-aged men knowing what's best. You know what? They kind of do. You know, they have wives, they have daughters. They do understand, I'm sure. My dad understands, you know, he's got me, and I was a wild one, so he knows what's best. And a lot of people do, so that's my stance. I do not work for Fox News, for those people asking me. I don't have a degree in anything, so call me an idiot, whatever. I don't care. Alright, well, have a good day, and, yes, wait until marriage. Okay, peace.
This is what it boils down to. If you think abortion or premarital sex is sin, don't do it. But don't go around preaching and trying to force it onto other people, because you have no right to judge them. Your religion here, Blondie, is not being stomped on. You have the right not to take birth control. That lies in your personal freedom. So all in all, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this gave you a kind of idea of what my stances are on birth control. I'm in full support of birth control. I think people should use birth control, and I have no problem with the government providing free birth control for people on welfare or for people who can't afford it. The most amazing thing about this video, though, is in fact the speaker, which is Tarisha, and the material that she's presenting is very ignorant, but also so contradictory, because if you watch any of her videos on her channel, she claims that she was a stripper. You type in her full name, which is how I found out what she was associated in. I typed in her full name into Google, and I found out that she used to be essentially a model, and was actually in the Playboy Mansion along with, there's that old guy's name. He's like 90 years old and has all the Playboy girls and stuff. I saw pictures of her and him together, and it's just so ironic that she can sit here and claim these things about herself and portray herself the way she does, trying to tell people that they shouldn't take birth control, when she's obviously been in the Playboy Mansion. She's obviously has nude photos on the internet, and she's just a hypocrite. I mean, this is the true idea of what a hypocrite is. Everything they say, everything she says in her video is practically refuted or contradicts herself in her other videos that she's made. So, as always, I am Mr. Repzion, also known as Daniel Sulzbach. Peace, the Rep, out.